Stay tuned for this adventure as we fly from Wichita, Kansas to Dallas-Fort Worth, then on to Los Angeles, California, and then the long overwater flight to Tahiti. After we got settled in, we took the drive along the coast to Taha'a Beach. It's one of the beautiful black sand beaches of Tahiti. Spent a few minutes there to kind of check things out, and it was just breathtakingly beautiful just seeing a black sand beach like that. Afterwards, we took the short drive further down along the coast to Vipe Water Gardens, and that was something ought to be noted. All of these are free. And then on our way back, we stopped by at the Grottos de Mara. And once again, all of these little roadside attractions are free. After a full day of exploring, we made the trip back toward our Airbnb and then stopped by Lanny's Barbecue and really got a great meal there. The service was impeccable and the food was even better. The following day, we made the trip along the coast to the Tahiti Pearl Farm. It almost looks like a separate island, but they are both connected. This ended up being a wonderful adventure, and we highly recommend doing it. You do arrive early, but they do provide snacks and little breakfast treats and some coffee before you take the little short boat ride out to the platform they have anchored up over the Pearl Farm, and they also provide lunch as well. So you got to pretty much plan for almost a full day for this little adventure. After you snorkel down and select your oyster shell, and they tell you in the review on how oysters are made, the shell selects you, you don't select the shell. So after the oyster shell selects you, you bring it up into the shack, and this is where the excitement starts to build, where you will find out what you may or may not have found inside your oyster shell.
Push, Mom! You are...
That's the biggest one.
Oh my gosh, wow! 3 kilo, what? Good job, Mom. This is wrong. This is so much fun, yeah. High five! Hey! Good job!
After lunch, we all tried our hand at blowing into the conch shell, and it's often referred to as poo. It's often used to invoke ceremonies and mark significant moments, as well as a signal to start an important event, gather people for meetings, and communicate across long distances.
One more long one. Get a beat. Now you know how to do it. You should have quit while you're ahead.
I'm like you, I'm dizzy now.
Yeah.
You keep energy and then you share first.
Later that evening, we had dinner at Hotu Mahana, and let's just say the atmosphere and the views were a little bit better. Well, a lot better than the food. My steak was basically unedible. It was so tough. This was the only disappointment food-wise of our entire trip. On our final day at Tahiti, we took an expedition in a four-wheel drive truck from Raiatea Tahiti Expeditions, and we had a Tahitian guide who's familiar with the culture. Now, be forewarned, this is an 8+ hour tour, and it takes you to the innermost parts of the island and gets you into the cauldron of the volcano. But the guide will share some disdain, and sometimes excessively so, about some of the missionaries that came to the island a couple of centuries ago and tried to abolish some of their cultural beliefs. So just be prepared that if you're a Christian, might get a little uncomfortable at times, but we listened with respect. And it's just some of the things that his ancestors went through that was passed down through the generation, and he's just sharing some first and second-hand accounts of that. So anyway, it's well worth the trip and the time, and it's just beautiful scenery that you normally wouldn't see unless you went on this expedition.
The guy, he did the size. If you know with that tree, they blow the shell. But the shell, why they use the shell when they go up on the hill? Because those trees, it doesn't grow up. It just grow by the river. So this is what they use to communicate it. How they are old. When they have it, they look like a blue eyes, but it's not a blue eyes, it's a katana. Just like we as humans when you get old. Listen, we run the photos. Well, to get the milk, ben, pour avoir le lait de coco, ben, comme je disais, ben voilà, vous avez juste à presser, just squeeze this, and you get a milk. You can put it in your hair, put it in your skin, vous le mettez dans les cheveux.
Stay tuned, as next week's video we take the ferry over to Huahine and stay there for a few days. After that, we take the ferry over to Raiatea, where we're picked up by the water taxi at the ferry dock, and we spend a few days over at Overwater Bungalow on the private island of Vahine. And then we go back to Raiatea, where we pick up our boat and we begin our sailing adventures.